Hello. Good morning. This is a Pop in the Life. It's quite cold of a morning where we are having our first walk of the day. And this is where today we're recording this episode of A Pop in the Life. Very energetic morning. You know, I woke up like this, like a diva. Um, anyways, the podcast of today talks about something that's really, I would say, anti delusional, or so to speak, very honest and sincere, and really out of every possible um, reasoning that's gonna stay behind how we consider everybody that's willing to lend a hand in startup land. And I'm sorry if this is gonna be very delusional, that actually very anti-delusional for most people. If this is gonna be pretty hard for somebody to be hearing, but it stems out also from some life happenings that have been going on lately in our life, and that we have seen um, developing in mom's life and in mom's mind. So it's not just startup things. It's it's life. Um, Things live and die, and they're born. They live. They try and do the best at living. It's not always obvious, and they die. And they can die through a variety of different reasons. Now, if we're talking about people, one day you're okay, the next day you're sick. There's really nothing to do about it except just keeping yourself just monitored and checked, and really be able to see that you can maybe find a way to prevent it. But sometimes as much as you prevent it, there's no way out of that. And at the same token, there is in startup land, at some point, it will come a situation in which you're maybe gonna burn cash. You're gonna find a way to see yourself in the shoes of, I need to solve a problem and I solve it now, otherwise this project will simply die. And that's okay. That's totally okay. It's not the end of the world. It is the end of the world from a health perspective, but guess what? It's going to be the end of the world just one single unique time. And you're not even going to realize that in reality. And the fact of the matter is that no matter how much people try and be there for you, try and give you consolation, try and give you, some kind word, or anything that looks like that, like a sweet presence, a comfortable setting, a empathetic way of being with you and for you especially, it's not going to be solving the issue at hand. And that is quite obvious. Now, if you translate this to the startup world, you think about how finding somebody that tells you, I am going to help, and finding somebody who is actually going to be able to help are two very, very different things. And you cannot be expecting that the two are one and the same. Actually, they're not. So it's up to you, your legs, your hands, and your mind. You're not alone, because usually in startup land and in general in life, like, you have a team. But in the end, it's up to you, or maybe like a couple of people, to be going out of the situation and to just finding out that the only way out is through. Now, this can happen in situation in which, for example, as we were previously discussing, you need funding, for example, and you find yourself asking for it And at the same token, you probably are maybe like raising in a tough market. You might be raising with a player that's just very, very slow and very not, um, you know, maybe not ready. You might be trying to raise on a let's say on a paper that doesn't really sound fair to potential investors, and now it's going to be one and the same with clients too, and with lots of other situations in life where you have some objectives, you have some ideas on how things should be running, and things don't go to plan because life happens or because you didn't consider some circumstances out of it. And, that is totally fine. On the other hand, though, it's quite easy to find yourself lulling yourself into the idea that there's going to be somebody that's showing up to help you, and that somehow the thing is going to change because of how good somebody is whose, other purpose in life is taking care of yourself while they don't take care of just themselves, but themselves and you. And now, this is probably not going to happen. It's probably going to happen in terms of they are willing to help, if they are at all. They're not going to be able to solve the thing. And especially the way and the lens through which you are seeing the thing. So take this for the podcast for today and use it as a lesson, as a way to understand that there is no superhero that is gonna figure out the things that you need to do or the things that you can do apart from yourself. And this is to say that sometimes you will find yourself in a situation in which somebody will be actually willing to tell you, I'm sorry, I cannot help. I'm not able to help as much as I want to. And sometimes they don't even tell you. And you're going to figure out yourself. It's your own thing, your own problem, your own shit. Which, guess what? If that makes you feel better, is a situation that everybody lives in life. So there's nothing new about it. There's nothing fancy about it. There's nothing glamorous about it. It's just the way it is. Oh, we're passing by a fountain. It's a very private fountain. It's quite amazing to see every time we walk past this fountain. And we also pass through red leaves on the ground, very tiny, probably maple leaves. Beautiful falling down after a rain. It's the end of November, and it's amazing to see. Frankly, I would just say let's be amazed by these things in life. And let them give you perspective on the fact that every being is there, yes, in function of all other things, but in the end has a life of its own. And needs to be taking care of that. There's also a reason why, as far as we know of, we just have one. Now, this is a pretty philosophical episode for Monday. I'm sorry. But I just wanted to give you some perspective and to let you know that you're not alone, because everybody is alone in this. So you're probably not dealt with a more difficult hand. You're probably not dealt with a harder round. It's just the way it is. And it's gonna spin at some point. It's not because it's fate or whatever. It's because it's like, even if you don't believe in anything, like, it's gonna be the case. Like, it's gonna spin. So always remember, and please beware of solutions that might seem very, very easy, very, very top of the game, very, very, oh my god, the light bulb of the situation. This is not to say that it doesn't happen, but that if it stems out from somebody else, it's probably not the path to go. But I will leave you with this thought. We're gonna go on with our day now because there's lots of shit to do at work, especially today, and I hope to see you again around soon. Because I mean, almost 110 episodes, like, it's a long time, and I just hope I can continue to see much more people hanging around and sharing our thoughts on my very personal diary of Vergola. I'll send you kiss, hugs, and a bit of barks. Bye bye.